I will dig a little deeper. Jesus' love must be sweeter. I will dig a little deeper, deeper, yeah. What about you? I will dig a little deeper. Jesus' love must be sweeter. I will dig a little deeper, deeper, yeah. Hello again, viewers. The lines are falling onto you in pleasant places. Behold, you have a good heritage. You're welcome to Bible study at RCCG Winners Place. My name is Tolu Okusaya, and in the studio with me tonight is my husband, Pastor Temitope Okusaya. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you. God bless you.
Amen.
Today we're studying a topic titled Unequally Yoked. Unequally Yoked. What does it mean to be unequally yoked? These and more we will find out as we study the Bible today by the grace of the living God. And the passage of our Bible study is taken from the book of Jonah, chapter 1, from verses 9 to 15. That's the book of Jonah, chapter 1, from verses 9 to 15. And it says, "And he said unto them, I am an Hebrew, and I fear the Lord, the God of heaven, which hath made the sea and the dry land. Then were the men exceedingly afraid, and said unto him, Why hast thou done this? For the men knew that he fled from the presence of the Lord, because he had told them. Then said they unto him, What shall we do unto thee, that the sea may be calm unto us? For the sea wrought and was tempestuous. And he said unto them, Take me up, and cast me forth into the sea. So shall the sea be calm unto you. For I know that for my sake this great tempest is upon you. Nevertheless, the men rowed hard to bring it to the land, but they could not, for the sea wrought and was tempestuous against them. Wherefore they cried unto the Lord, and said, We beseech thee, O Lord, we beseech thee, let us not perish for this man's life, and lay not upon us innocent blood. For thou, O Lord, hast done as it pleased thee." Verse 15. So they took up Jonah and cast him forth into the sea, and the sea ceased from her raging. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Unequally yoked. Before we go into the message of this Bible study, for better understanding, and peradventure there are some out there who are not familiar with the story of Jonah, the first question I would ask you, sir, is who is Jonah? What is the background to this story? Before we came to verse 9, which we started from. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Jonah, according to the word of the Lord, was a prophet of God. Jonah was instructed by the Lord to go to a certain city by the name Nineveh, to minister unto them, to warn them of an impending doom because of their ways. This is a sinful city, and the Lord was prepared to deal with it. So, but before that would happen, he decided that he needed to warn them again. So he told Jonah, you are going to Nineveh, and you're going to minister to them. You're going to tell them what I am about to do. Now, Jonah decided within himself that he was not going to carry out this instruction. Jonah was disobedient in this area. He decided, no, I'm not going to do this.
So he was willfully disobedient.
Yes. And he decided that he was not going to do that. So he decided to run away from the presence of the Lord. He got to the harbor, he got into a ship that was going to Tarshish, totally opposite to where the Lord instructed him to go. Everything went smoothly. He was in the ship, and the ship continued to sail. Somewhere along the line, the God of heaven decided to trouble the water to the extent that fellow co-travelers in the ship looked at it and said, if we don't do something about this matter, definitely we all will perish.
Hmm.
So in the good old days, what they do, if you decide not to go to the prophet to inquire, there are other things you can do. One of them is they cast lot. So according to the word of the Lord in this chapter, lot was casted, and it came upon you know um, Jonah. The Lord picked Jonah that he was the harbinger of problem that they had inside the ship. So they called him Jonah. Jonah, tell us, who are you? Where are you going? Where are you coming from? What have you done? To the extent that the sea is troubled. And if nothing is done as quickly as possible, we all might lose our lives. So that's how we came to verse 9. Jonah now started explaining.
Where he said, I am an Hebrew.
Exactly.
And I fear the Lord, the God of heaven. I see. And of course, yes, in verse 10, he did say that he had told them that he fled from the presence of the Lord.
Yes.
So, yes, they must have asked him, the lot that fell on him, what you have taught us.
Yes.
What exactly is going on in his life? I see. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Now, going into the topic for today, unequally yoked. What does it mean to be unequally yoked? What is a yoke? How can one be unequally yoked?
Thank you very much. So we're going to take it step by step.
Yes, sir.
First, we're going to look at what is a yoke. Then we will look at equal yoke. Then we will come to unequal yoke. Because for you to understand unequal yoke, you need to understand what is equal yoke.
Yes.
Now, what is a yoke? And now we use stuff in the agricultural background to explain what a yoke is. A yoke is a wooden bar placed across the shoulders of oxen to pull a cart. In this modern age, we have tractors that work on our farm.
Yes, sir.
But in the good old days, they use cart.
I see. So, like those wooden bars across maybe
that crossbar
across two animals walking to plow the ground.
Exactly. That is a yoke.
I see.
Now
so it joins them together.
So
that they can walk in unison.
Together.
Okay.
Now, that is a physical yoke.
Yes.
Now, a spiritual yoke is when stuffs like enchantment, divination, evil decrees, curses come upon a man from wicked sources. When they pronounce grievous words into the life of a man, when such things have been pronounced into a man's life, such a person is in bondage.
Right. So yoke is something that locks, that can lock something.
Like a padlock. Once it's pronounced into the life of a man, things become hard for such people.
If it's a negative pronouncement.
Now, on the other hand, understand that the Lord said, take my yoke upon you.
Okay.
Now,
from what you have taught us there, that means when the Lord is saying, take my yoke upon you, He's saying, join yourself to me.
Join yourself to me, because it is written in the word of the Lord, he that is joined to the Lord is one spirit.
Yes.
And the Lord is always doing good.
Yes.
The Lord is merciful.
Yes.
The Lord is, the Lord will bless. The Lord will do wonderful and marvelous things for his children.
Hallelujah.
So when you are yoked to the Lord, you can imagine that wonderful and marvelous things will be your portion. The lines will follow to you in pleasant places. Good things will be your portion. Blessing, anointing, unction, glory.
Mm.
Think of it. Anything good.
Thank
You
you,
understand?
sir. Viewers, we're learning a lot today. Yokes can be positive, they can be negative. And because God has given man the freedom to make decisions, it's up to us what type of yokes we allow. We can decide to yoke ourselves to the Lord so that we can be partakers of His glory. But when it's a negative yoke, mm, the Lord will have mercy on us in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you, sir.
Now, going to unequal yoke. But before then, let's talk of equal yoke.
Mm.
Now, equal yoke is a term used to justify a decision. For example, when brother A is married to sister B, they are actually married legally. That is an equal yoke. It's equal. It's holy. So it's a now unequal yoke is direct opposite to that
Of equal yoke.
of equal yoke. That is, it's unholy.
I see. So equal yoke effectively is something that is according to the will of God.
According to the will of God.
It's a positive one.
And we use that term to justify decision that this is right.
So they're recognized as one, two becoming one.
Becoming one.
They're yoked together.
They are yoked together.
I see.
Because yoke is an attachment.
Yes.
Whatever happens to him will happen to me. You understand? So when you're yoked to your husband, in holy matrimony,
yes,
you inherit what is coming from him.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yes.
And vice versa.
Yes.
So you're both on the same platform. You're reading from the same book.
Singing from the same hymn sheet. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. What a comprehensive explanation. So, whoever we're married to, we're yoked to them. And whatever they're bringing, we will be partakers of that. Effectively, this is slightly different, but this is effectively what happened with Abraham and Lot.
Exactly.
Because Lot went with Abraham.
Yes.
And so he was blessed because he was with Abraham.
Yes.
Who was blessed of the Lord.
Blessed of God.
But the moment he left, the opposite of that started happening because he was no longer yoked to Abraham.
The covering of Abraham. In most cases, when you talk of yoke, there's always a senior partner and a junior partner.
Sometimes, or always.
In most cases,
there is.
Yeah. When you are yoked to the Lord, of course, the Lord is the senior partner. You understand? You are. Yeah. So when you are yoked to a man of God, when you are yoked to a woman of God, you understand? Because he is blessed of the Lord, you will definitely partake of that blessing of the Lord.
Wonderful.
And that was why Lot was blessed.
Amen.
And that is why the Lord encouraged us from the mouth of Paul Apostle in 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14. Do not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. You know why? The unbeliever is governed by the principles of the world. You are a child of God. You are governed by the principles of the law of liberty, the word of the Lord. Now, if you yoke yourself to an unbeliever in business, he will bring the principles of the world. You now, as a believer, you can't bribe. You know the word of the Lord that you must not bribe.
Yes.
He will tell you what's wrong with him because he is being governed by the principles of the world.
A bit like what the Israelites were told by the Lord, that they must not marry from others outside, and they must not have anything to do with them.
The Lord said
because they would draw them away.
They would draw them away.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. You have answered this, a little as well already. But the next question I will have is, what are the consequences of being unequally yoked? I know we've covered it a little bit with Lot, and some of the examples we've shared. But please enlighten us some more on this. Because from what we have discussed so far, I'm getting that yoke is very important. Who you are yoked to is very important. And the consequences of who you decide to yoke to, of course, will also be equally important.
Thank you very much. As many got themselves yoked unto those that are not in the kingdom of God. And to some extent, you believe that, well, I've been yoked to this man for quite some time now, nothing is happening. You want to think twice. Because when you yoke yourself to people outside the grace of God, it will haunt you. It will surely haunt you. That is why the Lord told us not to be unequally yoked. Now, when you yoke yourself to unbelievers, or the consequences of yoking yourself to unbelievers, is that you will not get the favor of God. One of them.
So you will not prosper.
You will not get the favor of God. You will not prosper. Now, listen, to you, because the millions are rolling in. Imagine you're yoked to somebody that is not a child of God in business. The millions. You look at the business and you say, but we're doing well. Go back to the word of the Lord and look into the word of the Lord in Revelation chapter 3 and see what the Lord said there. So you might think you are rich, but as far as God sees you, you are poor.
Because perhaps the source of the riches are not according to his will.
The unbeliever,
as you may have had to compromise along the way.
The unbeliever is governed by the principles of the world. And whatever they do there, definitely it's not with the permission of God. The unbeliever is governed by the principles of the world.
Could we say, sir, that this applies across the board? You get married to an unbeliever?
Wow, that's terrible.
Are there consequences to that?
Of course.
Or could you say, well, I would minister to them or I would preach to them and they will come to the Lord once we're married? That should be okay because God is merciful.
Can I say this?
Because I've heard this time and time again.
Especially to young girls out there and young guys out there. You might come under what she has just said now, saying, I love this man, I love this woman. Whatever the case is, when we are married, I will do what is necessary to bring them to the Lord. No man can bring any man to the Lord. No man. How do we understand this? The book of John, chapter 6, verse 44, explains to us. It is the spirit of the living God that draws men unto himself. It is the spirit of the living God that draws men unto himself. Many have gotten into this, and at the moment now, they don't have a good story to tell about it.
So they're struggling.
They are terribly struggling. Now, let's look into the word of the Lord. Let's look at 2 Chronicles, chapter 19. 2 Chronicles, chapter 19. 2 Chronicles, chapter 19. And in verse 2. 2 Chronicles, chapter 19. And in verse 2. Second Chronicles chapter 19 and in verse 2. Look at the story of Jehoshaphat. For better understanding, let's take it from verse 1. Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, returned to his house in peace to Jerusalem. Verse 2. And Jehu, the son of Hanani, the seer, went out to meet him and said to King Jehoshaphat, shouldest thou help the ungodly and love them that hate the Lord? Therefore is the wrath upon thee from before the Lord. Jehoshaphat.
So the Lord was upset with him.
Why must you
go angry with him?
Why must you join yourself in an unholy alliance with Ahab.
Ahab the king.
Ahab the king of Israel. Jehoshaphat was the king in, the other side.
Yes.
Why must you align yourself to Ahab? So it was not the will of God at all.
Yes.
And if you read the story of Jehoshaphat, Ahab, and that war, the war in Ramoth Gilead and stuff like that.
He was nearly killed.
He was nearly killed. It was just the grace of God that helped him. So what are the consequences of joining yourself in unholy alliance? Death.
Death.
You might lose the favor of God. And so on and so forth.
Thank you, sir. Viewers, this is a very important point. Unequally yoked. Unequally yoked. It is very important who we align ourselves with, who we yoke ourselves to. Going to that parish, have you asked the Spirit of the Lord? Moving house, have you asked where the Lord wants you to move to? Going into contracts to do business, have you asked the Lord? Yoking to those who are not of Him can bring disfavor. It can lead to death, just like we have been told by Pastor. Jehoshaphat went to visit Ahab, and he was nearly killed in war because they mistook him for Ahab, a result of his being unequally yoked, because Jehoshaphat feared the Lord, but Ahab did not. So we must be careful who we align ourselves with. Thank you, sir. Now, how can we avoid being unequally yoked?
Thank you very much. Now, the word of the Lord explains to us in Proverbs chapter 3 from verse 5 to 6. Proverbs chapter 3 from verse 5 to 6. The word of the Lord said, trust in the Lord and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways,
acknowledge him,
and he shall direct thy path. Trust in the Lord. Don't lean unto your own understanding. It's high time children of God needed to understand that, you see, the 5 senses we have, it's wonderful. Thank God for the grace to have our senses working. But you see, when we come to the Lord, there are cases where you need to suspend these 5 senses and hear what God is saying. If you really want to fulfill destiny in life, suspend and listen to what God is saying. Now, how do we avoid this? When you read the word of the word of the Lord is a pointer, is a compass to how the Lord expects you to walk in life. Through the word of the Lord, we understand that we are not supposed to be equally yoked.
Yes.
How did we know that? The word of the Lord explained that to us.
Yes, sir.
But before we came to the Lord, we all, majority of us, were unequally yoked together with unbelievers, with friends, with this, with that. But knowing the word of the Lord, you understand how we need to walk in life. So, the principles of governing the life of a child of God is in the scriptures. That's why you need to search the scriptures. When you search the scriptures, you will get answers to all that you need in life. You know how to avoid the pitfalls. That's why the word of the Lord says, trust in the Lord, not in your senses. And lean not unto thy own understanding.
Yes.
In all thy ways, acknowledge him. The meaning is, go to him, ask him. As many that are led by the Spirit of God, they are what? The sons of God.
Yes, Romans 8:14.
8:14.
Amen.
You must be led of God in everything. That is the only way you can avoid pitfalls. And please, let children of God understand this. Sometimes you go to the Lord and you have idols in your heart, you have already concluded what you want or what you have, your desire. You have concluded, this is, I'm going to do A. Understand that the Lord you're talking to can see all that you're thinking in your heart. The Bible says He will prophesy unto you according to the multitude of idols in your heart.
So when you are going to the Lord, you shouldn't have any idols. What that means, or what you are saying, sir, is that you shouldn't have made up your mind what you want.
No.
Because it will tell you exactly what you want.
Exactly.
So when you are going to Him, you should have an open mind to listen to what He has to say.
That's it. You see, you may go now, and the Lord will answer you not according to what is in your mind, although you have idols in your heart, but He might just allow you and give you the right answer. You understand?
Yes.
But if you continue, because if you don't know, He will still, grace, will cover you and stuff.
Merciful.
But now you are hearing it. When you go to the Lord, you don't have idols in your heart. Remove idols from your heart. Just tell Him, Daddy, I don't understand what to do now.
Direct my path.
Road A, road B, road C. Where will you want me to tread, Lord?
Hallelujah.
And He would direct your paths.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. It's very, very important to stay close to the Lord, to be successful in life, to fulfill destiny. And how do you stay close to the Lord? We have heard. Ask every decision you want to make. Ask Him. Dwell more in His word. As you dwell more in His word, He's speaking to you. Spend time in His presence. He will direct your path. That's how to avoid being unequally yoked. For example, somebody that wants to get married, you need to ask the Lord who He wants you to get married to. You can't just go out there and say, oh, I've seen a pretty lady, that's who I'm going to marry. You don't know the heart of God does. The Lord will give us grace to walk according to His perfect will so that we can be shining examples in His hands in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Now, finally, sir, in view of the passage that we read for this Bible study, would we or could we say that those in the ship were unequally or negatively yoked to Jonah? And that's why they experienced what they did. But, perhaps unconsciously so, because they didn't know him before. They were just traveling. And he came on board. But, of course, from what you have taught us, what was happening to him affected them. And so, when you are not conscious of these things, what ground? I mean, what do you have? What can you say?
I understand where you're going, man. Yes. Thank you very much. You see, you don't want to be in the same aircraft with the Jonas of this world. You don't want to be in the same aircraft with the lots of this world. But the thing now is this. We have a lot of them around. Now, how do we now sustain ourselves, oh Lord? That's the question you're asking. A child of God should live a life of prayer. You have to walk in the Spirit and live in the Spirit. You have to walk in the Spirit and live in the Spirit. All right. Now,
that means you should be conscious of what the Lord is saying per time.
You must be
what's happening in your kingdom.
Anticipation of evil sometimes. You can anticipate because you are walking in the Spirit. You are living in the Spirit. You remember, some time ago, we were told of these Christians during the tsunami. What year was that? That the Spirit of the Lord woke them up in the midnight and told them, now, stand up, pick one or two things, and start to run. Run out of this time. Now, that's it.
I heard a testimony of that, actually, of somebody that was saved because of that.
That is it.
They didn't know why they were running, but they knew it was the Lord speaking.
Now, during 9/11,
and they survived.
now during 9/11, we have some Christians too that said the Lord told them, "Don't go out this morning. I need to get to work," and the Spirit of the Lord insisted, "Don't go out."
Thank you, sir. The mercy of the Lord will continually be our portion in Jesus' name.
Amen.
We will not die before the time the Lord has earmarked for us,
Amen.
even according to His will in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you so much, sir. We've learned a lot. The Lord bless you,
Amen.
and the Lord continue to increase you,
Amen.
even in the knowledge of Him in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Viewers, what an impactful session. We must be conscious of who we align ourselves with. We must let the Lord lead us on every decision that we make. We must be conscious of the fact that our kingdom communication channel is on 24/7.
Mm.
We must pick up what is being said on the frequency. We must be discerning, and we must always yoke ourselves to those who will positively enrich our journey and who will help to us to fulfill destiny. The Lord bless you for listening. And until next time we come your way, we want to say, keep digging
Digging.
into the Word of God.